Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's my story. Like, oh man, I know
Right.
somebody
You're
that went
like,
through
where have
that.
I heard this one before?
Yeah. But it is like it's just you having that compassion and like just listening and seeing how much they give you, not
Mhm.
pushing too much, but kind of elbowing, like, oh man. So
And
where did you work at?
George sound like your friend. He was like, hey, what happened? How did
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happen? How are you trying to come out of it? As opposed to like, yeah, what's going on? What you do? Why you do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
Because
he's
like I've
calm.
never been in that position, but I feel like if I had to like try to picture myself in that, like I'd feel so lost. Like I wouldn't even know where to start or how to fix myself because it's like this is coming after you, but you still have your day, day to day life that you have
Right.
to show up for. And
And you said that you can use that yourself. You're sharing that experience and you're being transparent. I
Mm-hmm.
never been in a situation, but I can only imagine. And I believe that's empathy, Stacy. I always get them mixed up, sympathy and empathy.
if you don't mind me asking, George, because you said that was your experience, like trying to do the real estate and facing this as well. Like, how did things sort of take a turn for you?
Just keeping that faith, and honestly, Lenny, because like say, when I left the post office, I left in a weird way, which I appreciate it now, but at the time, I was like, man, this angry man, he tried to hit me, and I did the whole, hey, Mister Postman, I can feel that you have this anger inside of you, so you feel like you need to let it go, because last time we checked, the post office has pretty good dental insurance, so you knocked me out. I just buy some new teeth. So where at that moment that was the adrenaline running because normally I'm not a fighter. I just try to like laugh my way out of it or kind of figure out what's going on. To where
Mm-hmm.
I realized, man, this place don't care about me, and I was like in a deep hole. Like, man, I need to find my worth because this type of job I can't do this for 20 years. Because their solution was for me to move to another office. Okay, what if I run into the same angry man again? Move another office, and but just because I'm a man, I'm supposed to take it, or if even I fight back, either way, it's gonna be wrong. But because of that, I left, and I was able to run into this real estate investor that was an usher at Lakewood. And so he was kind of like my mentor at the time, to where like, hey George, whenever you want, I usher at Lakewood. Like, okay, that's cool. And I never went, but I was he'd always be persistent or nudge, to where I finally went, and I realized how the path to faith is so similar to entrepreneurship, because you don't know about tomorrow, you don't know about certain things, but it's emptying out that subconscious that I used to have of all that crap. You're not enough. You won't. You're. Well, you stupid, man. Why'd you leave the post office? That was a good paying job. Like, no, I know my worth, and like I love Rose shared this early in the morning. Like, God is my source, and the rest is just resource.
Mm-hmm.
So where around the January time where my faith was getting tested, like, oh man, God. But I did have that foresight, like, nah, I'm not gonna lose this house. I don't know why, but I'm not losing this house. Everything else is going, but yeah, just having that faith, and just like with the Israelites when they left Egypt and that water was, I'm pretty sure in real life, you're like, oh crap, the water's gonna fall. No, hey, keep walking, just keep
Right.
walking. Same thing with entrepreneurship. Well, during that time, people were calling me all the time, but I met a lot of friends that I still talk to this day that do the investing. To where just the way you told me, that's the way I told them. Hey, I don't know. I just got this little thing called faith. Yeah, because I was like, man, when's the deal gonna come? When is the deal gonna come? Getting so close, going slow, and getting so close, going slow. So,
Mhm.
man, God, this is like Job. You
Mm-hmm.
took away all everything from him, but it's testing that faith, because
Yeah.
the little bit that he gives you, that goes to show he can give you more.
Mm-hmm.
And by making my problem smaller and making it about you guys, like, hey, who can I help? How can I help you? And learning my whole life, Laney, like being in the post office, being in the army, these different jobs that I had, I was always in that. I always they wanted me to be a leader, but like, nah, I'm good. I like to be in the background, I like to hide. So the leader gets too much attention. But now I was learning that leadership is not a role. It's more like being in that position where you can empower others.
Mhm. Like a service almost.
Service, yeah, yeah, very true. And even going, damn near going down the whole 12 steps, Laney, because I did go. I applied for bankruptcy, like, and I think I had 2 or 3 foreclosure dates. April, file for bankruptcy. Like, I don't get a deal, let me start crushing these lines and
Mhm.
nothing out of that. 3 months, like, oh crap, what I do? To where I finally talked to the attorney and they said I needed to come up with I think 18,000. So I finally told my parents, and my parents were mad because they're the ones that had this limited mindset in me. But I already learned how to forgive them a long time ago, and that was another lesson I learned through God is forgiving them, not forgiving them for what they did to you because they only did the best they could with what they had.
Right.
Right.
Forgiving them for allowing them to have that power over you to
Hmm.
where you can't limit yourself. You're what He made you to become. And but because of that, Laney, I had applied for the mortgage assistant program, and that's when I met Mark Anthony. You probably ran into him a couple times. One of us up two brothers, and
I met you before.
when and just like what Stacey said, I eventually was vulnerable enough to share. Hey, bro, I'm going through a foreclosure, bro. I'm trying to crush these deals, but nothing's happening. Then he told me about the bankruptcy. He walked me through it, and I was able to extend that time to where I didn't realize I messed up my other credit though. All my credit cards that I did have a balance on them, I'm like, oh man. But it is what it is. But basically, and I applied for the mortgage assistance program. And the day before I had to come up with that money because finally I told my parents and they were able to come up with the money. And luckily I was going to close a property around the same time frame. I was supposed to get a 10K fee, 10K assignment fee, and they were gonna let me borrow the AK by asking, coming out of their shell and asking. And basically the day before I had to turn in that money, that's when I got the email from the mortgage assistant program and said, "Oh, we got you for 21,000." Like, you know, but it was cool because I did all other things other than my mortgage, so I was able to use the other money to pay off other people to where it's like Stacy was saying, being able to share my story now just in this room. Rose closed the deal, you closed the deal, Stacy closed the deal. Like, man, I want to give you some of this, George. And
Hmm.
not doing that, not having that insight, the reason behind doing it. No, I just want to help you. I don't mind spending his 1 or 2 hours and having made no calls, but we role played, we share stories, and like
Yeah, it was very helpful.
yeah, to where like, man, I want to give George something back. And like, wow, okay. That's 15K right there. Like, wow, guys, it's beautiful. And like, yeah, being able to share, have that vulnerability. And as a leader, it's more like I say, it's not a role, but it's a position. It's learning how before I can become a leader, I have to learn how to be a servant first. A servant to
Hmm.
God and knowing that he's my source of income, not this job, not these deals that I'm calling. And he's the one that gives me the power. He wakes me up each and every morning to do what I can do best. And yeah, and being a leader is learning to be a servant to God, being a servant to your wife or your husband, and being a servant to your kids, and being a servant to your community that surrounds you, that supports you. And then it's learning how to give that power to you, to where who knows, Laney, we might have a deal to, oh, George, I'm scared to call. Like, what's scaring you? I don't
Hmm.
I think you got it. I mean, I'm here for you, but I want you to do it. To where that happened to our partner Ricardo. He was kind of scared, like, oh man, George, I don't think I can do it. Like, you got it. And then man, he would call me all day. Hey, did they accept? Did they accept? And it's like a little kid because I don't know kids, but I felt like, man, bro, bugging me, bro. But
Yeah, they're so eager.
yeah, but because of him, now we got a deal going, and God willing, everything looks good so far. But obviously, it's a process. Obviously, it's beautiful getting that yes, but it's so many steps after that, and being comfortable, being uncomfortable. Or just like you're working with Tan, and the other day he shared with me like, yeah, George, this is gonna be the biggest month, 40K. Like, oh man, that's good. And but that's all 40K to him is 40K because you had something to do with it, the whole team, and it's being able to break that apart to where like, wow, I was worried about 18K, but I'm about to get a check for 40K. Wow, look how great you are, God. And it's like
Yeah.
learning, it's not
Yeah.
about the money. The money I'm learning, they need. Everybody thinks to be successful, you need money. No, money is the byproduct of success,
Yeah.
and success is byproduct of the service you render each day.
Hmm.
It's calling people, hey, mom, how you doing? Like, man, you get on my nerves, but I just want to say I love you, and I hope you do great today. And everybody else just, reaching out to people that, hey, I just called it to say how you doing. And it's that
Hmm.
simple. To we're like, wow, hey, George, somebody's going through foreclosure. They may need you, but because you made that call and you just want to brighten somebody's day.
You didn't
Oh,
know you were coming on here for all this today, didn't you?
yeah.
Was that?
I said, you didn't know you was coming on here for all this today, didn't you?
Oh, I needed it. It's like everything, happens for a reason, and you need to hear everything like the exact moment that it's given to you. Yeah, thank you everyone for
No
sharing
problem. Yeah,
stories.
yeah. That's what it's about. Just sharing. Like Stacey was saying, is God uses I forget what it said. He uses the broken to help the
Mhm.
other people. No, the rescue to rescue other people. And
Mhm.
like sharing your testimony and like just having that confidence when you are talking to somebody that may be going through pre-foreclosure, like, wow, I can only imagine what you're going through, but at the end of the day, I just want to help you out in any way I can. How are you
Yeah.
gonna help me out? With the
Mhm.
events, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. I just want to help. I'm interested in your life. I want to hear your story,